Alright guys, welcome to a new video. Today it's going to be on the Suzuki JR50. As you guys know from last video, we went over it. I picked it up and we looked through all the features of it. We looked at the oil tank and all that cool stuff. I showed you guys that I needed a new back tire. As you can see, the tube is just coming directly out of it. The front tire is good, and I told you that it was pretty boggy. I'll quick start it up so you guys can hear that, what it sounds like. I mean, it doesn't sound too great, so full throttle. Sounds like the choke is permanently on. So today we're gonna fix that and see if we can get it running correctly. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is take off the carburetor and the air filter and just go through that. Then I think we're going to go through the fuel system and see if the mixture is running too rich. And we're going to look at the spark plug. And yeah, then we're going to get the tube. I already ordered that off of Amazon. And I ordered the big bore kit. Big bore kit was like $48 off of Amazon. The tube was $8. And I've got that coming. I think one is coming June 3rd and one is coming, I think, in 2 days. The tube's coming in 2 days. And then the big bore kit wasn't prime, so it's gonna take a little bit longer, but still faster than eBay. So anyway, order those two parts. That's all good to go. But I want to see how fast this thing is stock. So what we're gonna do is clean out the carburetor and get it going as best we can stock, and then take it for a test run. Then we'll put the big bore kit on it next video and see how that runs. So stay tuned. Carburetor is coming off right now. Alright, so I just got the carburetor torn apart here. Look at how small the pilot jet is. It's right in there. Let me zoom in. It is extremely small. Probably the smallest pilot jet I've ever seen. It is for a 50cc, but that thing is tiny. Look at that little guy in there. So small. But yeah, otherwise it looks pretty good. Carb looks pretty clean on the inside, but that can be deceiving. The jets can be clogged. There's a little bit of debris at the bottom, but overall the carb looks to be pretty clean, which was expected since it did run. So what we're going to do is take off the jets, take off the float, and blow through all these passages with carburetor cleaner and some compressed air, put it back on the bike, and hopefully that does the trick. If not, we got a little bit more work to do, probably with the choke or the spark plug or something like that. Yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to put this back on the bike, clean it up, and be good to go. Alright, so we got the carb all installed back on the bike. So we're going to put some fresh gas and see if that fixes the problem, because it could be the gas has water in it or something, and that's why it's not running correctly, because as I look right here, there's a hole directly above that, and that's supposed to have a tube going down, so that could be water in the gas tank that's causing the problem. So we're going to bypass the tank and just fill this guy up with some premix 40-1 so it doesn't blow up, and then hopefully that does the trick. So let me fill this guy up and start it up for you guys. Alright, filling her up. Alright, let's give it a kick. See what happens here. So the carb clean did not fix the bogging issue. So we're gonna look at this plate underneath here, and I think the pump, the oil pump, is somewhere around here. I'm guessing it's right in here, because that line goes from the oil pump into here somewhere. So we're gonna see if it has like an air leak somewhere. I'm guessing from the oil pump, because it might be disconnected. I think it might be underneath this cover. I'm not 100% positive. Then we're going to check and see what the top end of the piston looks like. So stay tuned for that, because there might be a hole in the piston. Alright, so as you guys can see, the head is off of the bike. That's what the head looks like. Looks pretty good. The spark plug isn't too fouled. It's brown, perfect color. And this is what the cylinder looks like. No scratches on the inside there. If I zoom in, and the piston doesn't have any holes in it. It's good to go. Arrows pointing the right way. So everything looks like it's in spec. Very smooth. Crank feels like it's pretty dang smooth in there. So that's good. I think the pipe might be clogged. So what we're going to do is take off the pipe, put the head back on, and then see if that clears out a little bit. Because the pipe could have too much corrosion in it, too much stuff backed up, too much corroded oil and whatnot in the pipe, which, I mean, the pipe only has this tiny little hole right here, so that could be clogged. So let's take off the pipe here, put the head back on, and see if that fixes the bogging problem. Alright, so I disconnected the pipe right down here. 2 of these bolts held it in. Now it's loose like that. And I'm going to start it up for you guys so you guys can hear what it sounds like, because that was the culprit. And now it runs, and it really revs out now. So listen to this. If it'll start. That won't start. Choker. So as you can hear, it really revs out now. So obviously the pipe is clogged, and we need to take off the pipe now and clear it out. What you do to clear it out is you pretty much have to burn off the carbon in it. So I think you just throw it in the fire, or you could take a hair dryer and stick it to one end of the pipe and block off the other end, and it should burn off all the carbon in there, because the pipe should get pretty hot, and that usually burns off part of the carbon. I've done it with one other pipe before, and that worked pretty well. So what we're going to do, take up the pipe and go from there, so stay tuned. Alright, so I put the pipe back on. Everything works as it should. Put the choke on, start her up. As you can hear, it revs out, which is really good. So we got that fixed. Next step is going to be to put the back tire on once we get that guy, and then we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so it's a little bit windy, so excuse the wind, but I got the back tire on. The new tube came, took the old one out right there. We got this done. So I just wiped up the rim. It's looking all good now. Tire holds air. So the tube worked. Now we're going to just put the tire back on and hope that it still holds air. The tube came from Amazon, which was like $9, so it wasn't too bad. And yeah, so let's put this tire back on and take it for a little rip on the road. Alright guys, here's what the bike looks like, all done. Just put the back tire tube in, it's holding air. Just took it for a ride, perfectly good. There's leaking a little bit of oil, so I think there's too much oil in the crankcase, but other than that, it's still running pretty good. We're going to take it for a top speed run now. We're going to put the speedometer on the handlebars and see how fast this thing goes. I know my last one I think went like 18 miles per hour, so if we can get above that, that would be good. If we could hit like around 20, 23, 25, that would be awesome. I know with the big bore, it should go around 25, I hope. So this one, let's at least hit 20. And we should be good to go. So let's put the phone on, the speedometer, and see if we can get this thing up to speed. And yeah, so switching to GoPro right now. Alright, so the back tire is holding air. Got the speedometer app all hooked up, ready to go. So as you can see, maximum speed right now is 3 miles per hour. we're gonna take it for a top speed run, see how it runs. This back tire's holding on. Alright, so let's kick it over here. Hopefully it starts up. Oop, some gear. Alright. Make sure the choke is off. I already have it warmed up pretty good. So you can see max speed right now, 3 miles per hour. Take her for a little reparoo. $14 miles per hour. $15, $16, $17. We're going uphill right now, so $18. Hit 18 miles per hour going uphill, which isn't too bad. Turn around and go downhill now. $15, $16, $17, $18. $19, $20. Gonna hit 21. Didn't hit 21, hit 20. Oh, gas is pouring out of here. Oh, jeez. Woo! This little bike's pretty fun, dang. Goes pretty good. $15, $16, $18. Got the choke on. Alright, so that's the bike right there. Runs pretty dang good, I would say. I think the gas tank doesn't have a big enough hole in it to leak out, so it's not getting enough gas. But otherwise, it seems pretty dang good. I noticed oil was leaking out of the overflow right here, which means that there's too much oil in it. Which, I mean, that's an easy fix. You just drain some of the oil out. But let's just take a peek here and look, because that could be why it's bogging down a little bit. Oh, there's a lot of oil in there. You can see it. It's like all the way up to this point right here. So I think there might be too much oil in it. But other than that, it runs pretty good. Top speed, as you guys can see, is 20 miles per hour. I don't know if you guys can see that. We'll take it with the camera when we get home, but that's not too bad. I'd take that any day with this little bike. 20 miles per hour. I mean, it's meant for little kids. It's meant to go pretty slow, but when I first got it, it went about 4 miles per hour. So we definitely improved that. And yeah, goes in the grass fine. Does everything just fine. So I think this bike is good to go. Now we're gonna go back home and clean it up a bit and get it ready for the next video where we are gonna big bore it. So let's take her back home here quick. Oh, it's in gear. Keep on forgetting that. Oh, is she gonna start now? Woohoo! I really don't want to break it either. Made her up the hill too. Dang, boy. I wish I had one more gear so we could really go cruising, but it is what it is. Alright guys, so I just got done with the ride. We did the top speed run. I think on the speedometer app, I think we hit 20 miles per hour. Let's just see here quick. Let's see if it saved our thing. I don't think it saved our maximum speed, but I have it on the GoPro. So we hit 20 miles per hour, which is pretty good for this little bike. We're now going to put the big bore on and then compare it. So this is stock right now, and then we're going to put the big bore on and compare it, the top speeds. It goes pretty well in the grass. This thing is pretty torquey for what it is. It's not too bad, considering it's just a small little bike. This thing is only, I think, 50 cc, so it's not crazy fast or anything, obviously, but it does the job, and it'll be interesting to see what the big bore kit does. I think the one I ordered is a 60 cc, so it's not going to make a huge difference, but we'll see if it increases torque and speed. So that's the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. More to come on this bike for sure. Once I get the big bore, which is coming next week, we're going to slap that on there and see how fast this bike can go. So stay tuned for that. My Instagram is 2_vintage_. If you guys want to follow me on there, I do behind the scenes. And yeah, so that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time, we are out.